Here's the overview of the hotpad first aid kit. The pocket knife. You can have a custom phrase put on it at no extra charge. I'm going to be demonstrating how to make the hotpad. It's 7 inches by 9.5. It's made of two-sided pre-quilted fabric purchased at the fabric store. This is extra wide double fold bias tape. There's 3 yards. Open the package, cut it into thirds so that you have 3 pieces. And then 1 piece is what we begin with. The way this is done, bias tape has a wide underside that is the back and a narrower, slightly narrower upper side. You turn it and open it up so that the back side will go against our hot pad. So here is the wide side, there's the narrow side. You start it right here in the middle of the hot pad on the wrong side of the fabric and stitch around. So when we get to this point, we flip. When we get to this point, we're rounding the bend on our last corner, and you want to put a pin right here on your to mark where to stop, because you do not want to go past that point. Okay, then you flip it like this. You've rounded the corners nicely, and now you're ready to attach the bias tape, to fold it over and attach it to the front side, as has been done in this example. When you have finished attaching the back side of the bias tape, you will take your ruler and measure 6 inches, and at that point you cut off maybe 1 inch or so of excess bias tape. Then just the little tricky spot here, you fold down the end and stitch that. This piece of bias tape will become your loop for the button. And I would just like you to see, if we zoom in here, I would just like you to see you open out the bias tape, you fold it over, covering up this beginning spot so that it's going to be secure. And then you're coming toward the hot pad, and then you pull the hot pad this way and go ahead and stitch it down. Now as you come around the bends, bias tape is cut on the bias, so it is meant to give. So as you come around the bends, you just kind of hold down the edges and have it come over and meet your stitching from the first application of the bias tape. You continue on around. When that is done, you then have your hot pad looking like this. You secure the loop, and that is what will become the loop for the button. Our next step is to get the snack ziplock bags and pin them. We're going to secure 5 on one side of the hot pad and 5 on the other. So to begin with, because they are so slippery, it's a good idea to take pins and pin it very close to the edge. That is so that when you stitch the bags together, you're stitching on this side of the pin. If you pin way into here, then you're going to have a hole in your bag. So you pin those together. There's 2, there's 3. Stitch them just about less than 1/4 of an inch. Stitch right along there with a little bit bigger stitch so that it doesn't feel like it's perforated. You do the same with these 3 bags, and you repeat that twice, so you have a total of 5 bags for one side and 5 for the other. Then you take your hot pad, fold it in half, and you put a pin on each side of the middle. And that is where you pin these. This is the 5 bags. You pin them in here, and then you stitch just right next to that stitching line there. And when that is finished, it looks like this. And then you add the next 5 bags. And you overlap them right to the close to the others and stitch down the other side. Again, not on top of the stitching, but right to the side of it. This is how it looks on the front. The next step is to take your hot pad and apply stitch on your easily sewed with using a double strand of embroidery floss, and you come up from the back, leaving a tail back here. You stitch one cross, come down behind, and you tie 2 sets of square knots. That secures it very securely. And then that way it will be able to button on. So the button is applied to the outside of the hot pad after you have put your bags inside. Then at this point, your kit is finished except for the contents, and that's where you would refer back to the list of contents and put in things that you will find very handy to have in your car, your backpack, or whatever.